Ready Check Radio.
Stand by as we get ready to serve up all your news this week in the world of gaming. Welcome to Gaming Gumbo. Why, hello, Internet! And welcome once again to Gaming Gumbo, your weekly gaming wrap-up brought to you by Ready Check Radio. It's Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. That means it's time for a show. We've got chat hanging by. We've got a lot of gaming stuff to talk about today. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Audible, all of those options, we appreciate it. While you're there, give us a like, a subscribe, a follow, whatever it is. Throw a review up there. And if you like what we do here in this show and in all of our other shows, by all means, tell a friend. It's easy, it's fast, it's cheap, and it's a nice way to support us. Joining me to go over the gaming news today, Mr. Troy Blackburn, the noob fridge himself. What's up, sir?
Mike, did you get your Steam Deck email this week?
I knew you were going to start with that because you are having a lot of fun gloating over me. So Q3 emails started Thursday. Troy and I both have pre-ordered the $650 unit. They are doubling production per week now. Thursday was the first batch of emails for Q3. He got his. I did not get mine.
They officially have my money, and I'm officially waiting to get it in my hands, baby.
Yeah, so everything I've read, you should have it like Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Yeah, it should be.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, it should be. Because you basically bought it as soon as you got the email, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully on Monday's batch of emails. So I told my kids there's some Monday or Thursday in the next 3 months that I will be happy. Take advantage of it. Because the rest of the days.
Unfortunately, he might also be broke.
Yeah. So what are you going to do with it? Like before hold on. Let's introduce Yod. I mean, he is here. So
I'm curious. What is he going to do with it? Because, I mean, there are so many options with that thing.
Resident artist here, Ready Check Radio, Yod.
What's up, everyone?
Back on the panel after we all had a couple of weeks. Yeah, back to that Steam Deck. So, what are you planning to do with it? Because I'm going to be honest, and Damina, my wife and I were talking about this like last year when they put the pre-orders up. You were just a mere couple hours ahead of me on the pre-order because I hesitated. I was like, what am I going to use this for? Like, this is super cool. I love consoles. I love gaming. Not only playing, but collecting. Like, I have consoles I legitimately have never played just because of the collecting value. But I'm not really a huge handheld guy. I have a Nintendo Switch. I have a DS, but I didn't get every iteration of Game Boy. I have a PS Vita mainly for JRPGs that don't come out on anything else. But there's very specific reasons why I buy those handhelds. And I was like, oh yeah, that'd be pretty cool to take my Steam library on the go or, boot up some other things because it doesn't have to be the Steam library, of course. But I don't think I really do it all that often to justify $400 to $650. And it was Damina who was like, yeah, you would. Just get in line. When it's your turn, if you don't want to buy it, then don't buy it, but get yourself in line.
Yeah.
Did you look at the Steam Deck and go, I know exactly what I'm using this for?
Yeah, pretty much. I already have a library in my in Steam set aside for games that are specifically that I know I'm going to play on this. And starting out, it's some things that you can play on mobile, but I'm not. For some reason, I've just never been a huge mobile guy. I can't really get into mobile games. So games that I could get on mobile, but I already own them on Steam because I've gotten them as part of some humble bundle or some other thing. So the Batman Telltale series, Darkest Dungeon, Arkham Horror, Mother's Embrace, stuff like that I haven't gotten around to yet that would be really perfectly suited for the handheld experience like that is what I'm going to start off with. And then I've got some other things on my list that I haven't finished, like Shadowrun Hong Kong. I never actually finished that, so I'm going to go back and replay that all the way through to the end.
Damn. So I have
I've
decided
already got, it's 22 games in this library already that is literally labeled Steam Deck.
Now, see, that's I'm not there, but I know exactly what I'm going to use it for now. And prior to the show today and after the show today, I've been messing with my Raspberry Pi and updating. It's been in a drawer for a little while, so I was updating it and messing around and trying to figure out how to work the damn controller in some menus again because some things are hidden, And and I was like, I know what I'm using my Steam Deck for. I'm going to emulate the shit out of everything. Of course, it will all be legal, 100% stuff. I would never, ever do anything illegal on my Steam Deck. That would just
emulator.
On your brand new freeform PC.
I would never, ever.
Yep.
But I was like, yeah, so let's take a look at this. And I'm like looking up stuff and I'm like, wow, okay, it's actually easier than doing it on your PC in a lot of cases. Holy shit. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing a phone and a Razer controller for that stuff. It's just no. Chat, pointing out, yeah, of course I could do that stuff already. Back-ending some certain things. No, I'm not doing it that way. I'm
Come
lazy.
on, Razer has those neat little finger things that they're coming out with, right?
Yeah, right.
Finger
right.
gaming?
The little finger condoms. And yeah, obviously I'm not going to use it for just that, but it was like, okay, yeah, I got you. There are, I guess, a few games in my Steam library I would play on a smaller screen on a go, but I'm just one of those guys. It's like when I boot up my Steam library, pretty much every game I'm going to play in there, I just want to be sitting at my PC.
Yeah, you want the big screen experience.
Yeah, and I know you'll be able to get the docks and all that stuff in the future, but there are some odds and ends that I do want to do with it. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'll get my email Monday. Gents, let's get started with the actual news here today.
The actual news.
Yeah, so Biggie was Nintendo Direct, right? I mean, that was the past week. We had the Nintendo Direct. We talked a lot about the Square Enix titles revealed on the Nintendo Direct over on the Relic Grind on Thursday. So if you want to see our thoughts, in-depth thoughts from the Square Enix bunch or the Square Enix bunch, then by all means check out that show. It's on ReadyCheckRadio.com. and on YouTube and all the audio sources. Now, we'll mention them in here, though, just to get you guys' take on them. And we'll obviously hit the things that we wouldn't have covered because they weren't Square Enix related. So, kind of in no particular order here. Nier Automata, End of Yorha Edition, coming out for Switch October 6th. My brief thoughts on this, because I went in depth on the Thursday show, was kind of, oh, that wasn't on the Switch yet? I know things are late to the Switch, but I was like, damn, that's really late to the Switch. And that'll be October 6th, come with all the DLC, exclusive costumes to the Nintendo Switch version, and that game has sold over 6.5 million units now, doing very well for itself. A pretty slow burn game to get there because it was very word of mouth. I'm not picking it up for the Switch. I've already beaten the piss out of it on other platforms, so I'm going to let this one go. But seeing this and being more Switch guy, Yod, is this something that you would pick up?
No, I mean, Nier is also one of those games that I'd play on probably my PC.
Right.
Because, the pretty textures and all the stuff look better on the beast behind me than it would on a Switch. And once again, just like you, I was like, wait, what? It wasn't?
Yeah.
Right. Is this a new game? Wait, no, that's the game from before.
Obviously,
when I looked at that list, I was like, is this a new Nier Automata, like a one-off game or something?
Right.
I was like, wait, no, this is just the game re-released. Okay.
You're like, this can't be the original.
Junior, let's go.
This can't be the original. Now, I should be noted here, Troy doesn't do a lot of console gaming in general, but most of these items that we're going to be talking about are not exclusive to the Switch. I mean, this one is because it's already out on everything else, but most of these are coming out on other consoles and on PC via Steam and Epic Game Store and stuff like that. So we will still chime in for Troy's opinion, even though in the context of the presentation, these were the Nintendo Switch versions, and Troy's probably not playing on there.
The question of whether or not I'm going to grab it for my Switch is easy to answer.
Right, it's an easy to answer question.
Yeah.
Then we saw Harvestella from Square Enix. Kind of looked like a RPG with some Stardew Valley and some crafting and gathering kind of mixed in. Not for me, but I kind of looked at this and I was like, I don't know if this is for Yod, but I'm pretty sure this is for Yod's wife.
Yeah, that was very interesting. As I was watching it, I'm like, hey, wait. So you farm first and you build your community, then you prevent death from happening from above. That's right up her alley.
Absolutely. I was like, that is hers. That'll be in the Yod household. I don't know if you'd play it, but it'll be in the household.
I mean, and also, how you can't tell you're the main character, I don't know. You're farming with battle gear on. Come on now. Love the design work on it, though. It's very beautiful.
This whole genre isn't really me, so but is it one of you guys? Like, do you do the whole Stardew Valley crafting, gathering, maybe Dungeon Quest builders, that type of even Minecraft type stuff?
A little bit of like Stardew Valleys and games like that. I think this is probably a little too anime for my particular taste. This was a very square looking game.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it's totally to the wife.
Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royal are coming to Switch October 21st for that last one. I mean, this is definitely a welcome addition for many, many, many Switch players. It's just such great games, man. They're so good, so good. I know Torchwick has played through Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal and just like constantly is all over them to the point where he's like now trying to pick up the older ones, which are incredibly expensive. For those of you that watched our stream from Too Many Games this past week, we did that on Saturday instead of Gaming Gumbo since we were at the con. Torchwick actually did spend $600 cash on one PlayStation 1 game, one singular game.
600?
Yeah, of his own money.
Wow.
It's the most expensive purchase he's ever made with his own money, and it was the original Persona. So, yeah.
I got a Switch for that. I mean, a Steam Deck for that.
You don't have it yet. I hope yours gets broken in shipping. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm going to send him a letter. It's like, if mine's tore up, you can just replace mine with Mike Burns. He said you can just ship it straight to my house.
Go to order number 7755. So yeah, I mean, good news for Persona fans on Switch and some of these older ones coming out in other ways. Atlas has actually been surveying users about some of their older titles and whether you'd want to see PC ports or full remakes and stuff like that. So it is, I think, an interesting time if you're just getting into Persona. A lot of these older games are very hard to get or very expensive to get. I think just increasing the distribution platforms on these ones are always good. And seeing Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden go into the Switch library, that's a thumbs up from me. That's a thumbs up from me. Have you guys ever gotten into the series? I'm probably like the most JRPG on here, followed closely by Yod, but
I
was going to say, unfortunately, that's out of my ballpark. So
I know a few cosplayers that are really into the series, though.
Oh, it's a great series for cosplay. Yeah, absolutely. Takal never played any Persona games or the other related series. Yeah, the Shin Megami Tensei and that's those ones. Just never spoke to me, and I love me some turn-based RPGs. Metallica fan, never played a Persona game, although 5 looks good and has tempted me to pick it up. If you like JRPGs at all, it is absolutely worth us taking it for a spin. Absolutely. Then you got... Go ahead, Yad.
I think I did check out a few anime that were based off of it, though, and it did seem a little interesting, so I might check it out at some point in time.
Mario and Rabbids getting another title. Sparks of Hope coming to the Switch on October 20th. October is just getting packed.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
October is packed.
October's going to be expensive.
Yeah, it's going to be an expensive Halloween
But will it actually
gamers.
release in October, or is it just a date that they're placeholding and then they push it back to holiday,
It is
November, December?
I mean, it is Ubi, so
I was going to say, if it was, strictly Nintendo related, I would say no, it's got a good chance of releasing.
Yeah.
But it is a Ubisoft game.
That's the trick there.
You got Ubi cramming October, and the rumor is their Skull and Bones game will come out in early November.
Yes.
And the rumor is also that we'll get a full or a bigger reveal of that this coming week. Of course, we have mocked that on this show before, so we will absolutely bring that to you next week if it does have a release or it does have a reveal of some type. Square Enix is slamming October and November with titles, not only ones we're talking about today, but we also have Forspoken in that window and Crisis Core coming out in the back half of the year. I mean, it's just absolutely full. Absolutely full. I actually really, really like the Mario and Rabbids series and the tactical RPG elements in it. It's cute. It's definitely got to be your flavor, though. Like, if you aren't into the look and the silliness of the Rabbids, I could understand it being a bit tedious. But I really, really enjoy the series. So I've
always wanted to play the tactical one.
Yeah,
I've been interested in that one since I think it was an E3 that we saw it for the first time or whatever.
Yep.
I was like, oh man, that
back when.
Fun looking game. Yeah, way back when.
Oh, it's a blast. It's an absolute blast.
It does feel like it's very interesting. I do wonder if because it looks like you can kill the enemies before they even get a turn.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
good.
Is that fair though?
Yes, it's absolutely fair.
But with the Skull and Bones thing, isn't November their deadline? Like they have to release it there, or else they're paying everything back to Singapore.
Who knows? Who knows? I don't know if there was an actual release date. It's just that they had to release it.
I thought it was
I don't remember
by this time.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head if there was actually a date, but they were contractually obliged to release a title from that studio. Yes.
Right.
So we'll see. Way to go, Ubisoft. Live Alive, if you haven't played that back in the past, and you probably haven't because it was kind of region restricted back in the day, that is coming out. It actually has a live demo up right now that you can play, and you can migrate some of your progress if you want to. I'm going to skip this one a lot because it's just not in the wheelhouse for my hosts. But
yeah,
I'm recommending to you check it out if you haven't.
I've seen hype around it. I've already seen hype around it. So
yeah, you're not really into JRPGs, are you, Troy?
No, not typically. The JRPG and the anime stylings and stuff like that aren't usually something that attracts my attention.
But yeah, they did bring Capcom to the show.
They did. Yeah, you noticed the
the
shiny shirt. Yeah, Capcom came in with what was that? Their Monster Hunter Rise expansion.
Yeah, Sunbreak and their whole roadmap.
Yeah, and their roadmap for the next year or so, which looks interesting.
Are you gonna pick? Is this a release date pickup for you?
Monster Hunter. I mean, the multiplayer one kind of made me about Monster Hunter. I know a few people that are really, 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 really into Monster Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see how it does because it almost feels like they're with the roadmap thing. They're doing this game's gonna keep going type of situation. Where I've already got Destiny for that.
That's your live service?
Yeah, that's my live service game. The game that never ends. I've got Destiny 2 and I've got Final Fantasy 14. Both of them the games that never end.
The games that never end. Troy, picking up Monster Hunter?
I won't be, but I'm going to hear a lot about it because I got two really good friends, Beeflaw and Jira, who are absolute freaks for Monster Hunter, and I will know all of the things that happen in the game, so I might as well have played it.
Jump in their group.
Yeah.
The Portal Companion Collection, which had both Portal games and local split screen and online co-op for Portal 2, is already out. Interesting, though, Troy, on the back end of this, there was some Half-Life 2 files in there that people found and apparently have actually been able to reconstruct and be able to play.
Wow.
So Half-Life 3 confirmed? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Did any of you guys see that? Yeah.
I did not see that.
Using it's already up and running using a mod thanks to the release of Portal on the platform.
Wow.
Yeah. Just this is from Polygon. Just one day after the Portal Companion Collection was released on Nintendo Switch, modders have already worked out how to play Half-Life 2 on the system. The first of these videos comes from Twitter user Oatmeal Dome, who posted a clip of part of Half-Life 2 running on the system. The game is running on top of Switch's version of Portal 1, and while it's playable, it's far from perfect and only runs a few levels and does crash from time to time. So I feel like maybe all the files weren't taken out of that one before they went ahead and shipped it.
Oh, nobody's gonna find those. Nobody
Yeah,
ever
right.
glitches through walls into places they're not supposed to be. No way.
Nah,
Yeah,
never
nobody's gonna
happened.
find face recognition software in North American games. Why would you ever think anybody would find anything hidden in your game files?
Diablo. Looking at you, Diablo
Yeah.
Immortal. We got some Minecraft Legends. Great. That's coming out next year. That's not just Switch. That's everywhere else. And then we got to see this. A little bit of a snippet of, oh, God, Sonic Frontiers. Now, I don't know how to feel about Sonic Frontiers yet. I am one of those people that's in the camp of, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to watch a lot of reviews. First. I like Sonic. I like the old school Sonic games. I love Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 back on the Dreamcast, and I know they were ported over on, I think it was GameCube after that, but on the original Dreamcast. But obviously, it has been a tough road for 3D Sonic since then, right? We have the infamous Sonic 06, and yeah, it's been a rough road. And this is, Game Informer did a whole package about Sonic Frontiers this week, too. So if you're looking for more information, they have a little more on GameInformer.com, where they got to have some hands-on time doing this kind of like open world stuff that you're seeing, and then also more traditional levels inside, like the thing they're going to go inside here, whatever it's called. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty divisive right now for like really dumb reasons. Like people don't like the look of it. People don't like the look of some of the boss fights that we have seen. And one of the videos they showed early on was really rough. This video is so much better because one of their early videos was pretty rough. But I'm more of just a neutral right now. It's like I want it to be like Sonic Adventure. But it doesn't look like they're exactly going down that route, even though there is some like kind of open world-ish exploration going on here. I'm always hopeful for the blue hedgehog, but it usually never pans out.
It always blows my mind. You've got one of the most iconic side-scrolling platform IPs of all time. Why are we not trying to generate a new renaissance, a new love? It's already kind of out there in the indie scene. Why are you not taking this and trying to make the new next big side-scrolling platform game? Well, that's what your franchise is known for.
Yeah. You bring up a great point, and he's just Dave in chat just brings up the exact same thing, right? I remember when Sonic was all about collecting rings and fighting a mad scientist. This seems like too much for me. Yeah.
That was my thoughts too when I was watching.
And we have had those too. We have had Sonic Colors get its remake, and a bunch of different side-scrolling Sonics come out and get some love, and some anniversary editions and some stuff like that too. And I'm a fan of both. Where Dave wants something a little more classic, I'm a fan of both. Fine, give me a classic one that's well done.
Yeah, I guess that's me. I guess I would just much prefer my Sonic in a more classic form.
You're the one that when they put Mario in 3D, you were like, no.
Yeah.
No.
What the Mario 64 game where he goes into 3D? What's the name of that one? Is it just Mario 64?
Yeah,
it's literally just
that's literally Mario 64.
Yeah, that was not my favorite Mario game.
What's the name of that Super Mario 64 game? The Super Mario on the 64.
Yeah, the Mario on the 64.
I thought they did a good port for Mario 64 because it still continued the spirit of Mario, which was stomping on mushrooms and throwing turtle shells.
Yeah, I mean, I accept that that's widely considered a good game by a lot of people. That just wasn't my Mario, man. Just not my Mario.
I mean, that's
well.
okay.
See, to Kyle saying, Zelda was top down. To be fair, Zelda was top down in the first game, and then the second game was not. Like they didn't have the formula yet when they did Link. Then they did go back and do, Link to the Past, which was very top down, and then some handheld ones.
And it was much more about the exploring and the adventure.
Yeah,
Zelda was than the like a side scrolling platformer is about the side scrolling platforming.
Right.
Dave saying I will say I got my granddaughter Sonic Colors and she was ecstatic. Not for me, but at least she was happy. It is a great game. It is Sonic Color. I love Sonic Colors. I'm gonna stay neutral on this one. I'm gonna give it a shot. It is not a day one. No Sonic game anymore is a day one pickup for me. It is always wait until a friend or trusted person doing reviews that I just, unless I'm being paid to do the review for a site, it is not a day one, or provided a copy for those purposes. It's not a day one purchase for me. I am interested though. I'm not one of the haters. Right away. Blank, which was a console exclusive, Little Fawn and Wolf Cub, that's coming out in 2023. And then we get to what I thought I would be very, very happy about. Very happy. And that would be the return to Monkey Island. Now, we're going to talk, guys, just limit this to the game itself for a minute, because we are going to circle back later on a separate issue for Monkey Island. But the game itself, do you point and click?
A little bit.
I do indeed, and actually, I'm excited about the art style of the game. I think it looks fantastic. I think it looks super sexy. I don't know that I really saw a lot of gameplay that made me go, "Oh yeah, this is like what I'm looking for." But the trailer itself, as far as the look of the game and where it's supposed to be going from here, I'm very excited to see more.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Monkey Island and Guybrush Threepwood and Adventures, and then you Sam & Max, and I mean, I'm going back here, and Full Throttle and Maniac Mansion, and like all of those. Absolutely love them. I am very happy to see this again. A lot of people are pissed about the art style, Troy, so it's like interesting that you're saying you like it.
I like it a lot.
It is very different from Escape from Monkey Islands of the past, where it was very almost hand-drawn, animated look-up.
Yeah, I get it. This is more paper doll sort of looking. I'm a fan of it, though. I like what I see. So
it's an interesting twist on it, I think. And for a game called Monkey Island, I mean, I think the style works.
I just hope the writings is good, right? That is my nostalgia point. You can mess with the art style all you want because, do whatever you want, update it, make it better looking, do a different style. I'm fine. I'm all on board for that. But if it doesn't maintain like the same just absolutely brilliant, funny writing, we'll see. That's where I'm a little scared for it. We're gonna circle back on Monkey Island.
Yes.
Then we get to Disney's Dreamlight Valley coming out September 6th for early access on the Switch. I don't know how you feel about this one, Troy. This is their whole like Sims in Disney free-to-play thing.
I will say free-to-play thing.
Yeah, I will say that my oldest son, who is like a Disney file, right? He's 21, absolutely. Like, he loves all the Disney trivia and stuff hidden in the parks and stuff like that. He absolutely loves this, like exploring the kingdom and interacting with the characters and stuff like that. But I don't know. This one does. I'm not into the Sims, period. So the style, the genre doesn't do it for me. Damina, I mean, this is absolutely something she's going to load up day one, 100%. So her and my son are going to have a blast with this, at least for a little while. But this one's not for me. Not for me.
Could see me trying this.
Really?
I'm a little bit of a Disney fanatic myself, especially the more classical animated movies, Little Mermaid, Lion King, stuff like that. And I like the Sims games, so I could see me maybe, depending on early reviews, diving into this little guilty pleasure with the Disney.
Just feeding the mouse, huh?
Yep.
Just feed the mouse.
Look, man, they own Star Wars and Marvel. They already get all my money. I don't know what
They got you. They got you.
I'm already in. So
He's got a point.
they get my $9.99 a month or whatever the heck it is for Disney Plus. So
additionally, we saw Dragon Quest Treasures. You can talk more about, or see what we talk more about that on the Relic Grind on Thursday. RPG Time, The Legend of Right, coming out in August. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes will launch first for consoles on the Switch in 2023, so you have to wait till later on other platforms. The longest name in gaming, Doraemon Story of Seasons, Friends of the Great Kingdom, is coming to Switch later this year. And then, this will probably be an interesting one. I don't know if Torchwick saw this, so if he's watching, he may all of a sudden be pretty excited. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, coming out in 2 volumes with a total of 10 games across them, is coming out for the Nintendo Switch next year. This is like kind of that more. Do you guys even remember this series?
Little, very little. I don't remember it being that big because it wasn't a traditional Mega Man style thing. Because he looks different. The NT version of Mega Man, he's not the classic Mega Man look to him.
Right. Yeah, this is the Battle Network. Games. So this is not like the side-scrolling action. This is like the tactical, almost like turn-based type stuff.
Right. So it wasn't that version, and it wasn't the what's the other guy? That
the other guy.
There was the fancier looking Mega Man. I can't remember what his freaking name is. He looked like a Super Mega Man or whatever.
Who are you talking about?
Mega Man 64?
Yeah, that's 64. No. Anyways, yeah, this version was I don't remember it being as big in my generation.
Yeah, they weren't.
But
I was
gonna
say it was
deal.
the classic Nintendo Mega Mans for me. That was my Mega Man.
Yeah.
He's so old. He's so old. You are so old. Super Bomberman R2 on the way. 15-player support. Pac-Man World Repack, a remake of Pac-Man World, August 26th. People already pissed about that one because of missing Miss Pac-Man. Remember?
Ugh.
Railgrade, Rail System Builder, Switch in the fall, Captain Velvet Meteor. And then this one was exclusive to the, no, I don't think he means Mega Man X. And I think not Rush. Rush is the dog. Zero. I think he's talking about.
No,
Zero.
I was meaning Mega Man X.
Oh, were you mean? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Zero. My bad.
No. Technically, in the whole Mega Man anime universe, Mega Man X is a different dude from actual Mega Man.
Well, yeah. I thought you meant Zero. My bad. Okay. This was from the Japanese Nintendo Direct Mini, so this was not part of the main show. Mm-hmm. And this, I gotta say, I got excited about. Now, I should say, I'm not into like kaiju, right? My mother is like absolutely Godzilla crazy. She freaking loves Godzilla. Always has. I'm not into the huge guys. Like they're mindless fun to me, but I'm not gonna sit there and like I've never bought a Godzilla game. This is Monster Farm. Okay, Monster Farm. If you want to be specific, Ultra Kaiju Monster Farm. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of have nods to Ultraman, and Yod's gonna get more into that, I know, in just a second. You may know this franchise though. In the West here, this is called Monster Rancher. This was Monster Rancher.
Oh,
and was on the
okay.
PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. This is where you would farm your monsters, do little training things with them, raise them, breed them. One of the early ones had that really badass feature, Troy. I don't know if you remember this. I love Monster Rancher, where you could actually take a music CD and put it into your PlayStation, and it would rip some info off of that and create a monster from.
Yep.
So you would just like be taking different music CDs that were laying around your house and seeing what monster they created in Monster Rancher, and then raising them, breeding them, training them, and then taking them out to do fights.
I could see that being cool back in the day. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
'cause
absolutely. On the PlayStation 1, you were like, "What is this newfangled technology?"
Right. You removed a disc, put a different one in, and it takes information.
My Coldplay CD has spawned a monster.
And even if it was like the same type of monster, sometimes the strengths and weaknesses would be different,
Yeah.
and different ones would have different types of monsters.
Yep.
And then you can combine the monsters and make new special monsters.
I loved Monster Rancher. I'm all about this. Now, here's the problem. We're probably not going to see it in the West. This is probably going to be a Japan-only thing. I know, Ultraman is getting a little bit of a resurgence here in the West right now, but I don't know if it's going to be enough for them to bring this one across, Yad.
The other problem is also the rights, I think. Because Because right now the Ultraman that's being released is the animated 3D one off of Netflix, and it's a lot more of just Ultraman. What we're dealing with here is the monsters that Ultraman fought back in the old live action days. And I don't know if the same company in the US owns the rights to those as opposed to what's being released now. So that could be an issue, but it looks like a fun ass game.
I loved Monster Rancher. If this comes west, it is a day one buy for me because it has been so long since I've seen a Monster Rancher game.
Same.
Troy keeps looking over at the B-roll like he's like, I have never seen this in my life.
I'm usually pretty into kaiju, but I don't know about this one.
Oh, these are classic Ultraman monsters. Classic.
Oh yeah.
But
Monster Rancher 1 and 2 were on the PlayStation. 3 and 4 and Evo, I think, was PlayStation 2. 3 and 4 were definitely, I can't remember Evo. And then that was like, it had some handheld stuff. And then Monster Rancher 1 and 2 were brought over for the Switch. But that's been like over in the West
ages
since Evo. Like the only other ones we had were handheld ones.
Yeah.
Nothing on consoles.
I had a Pixie in Monster Rancher 2 that could one-shot anything, but she was 1 day away from dying. So I had to freeze her. If there's a big battle, bring her out, fight the battle, and freeze her really quick.
I'm going to get every bit out of this monster I can. Because I don't know where the hell that Britney Spears CD is anymore.
Well, no, it was one that I raised. Because you get the monster, and as you raise them through battles and training and stuff like that, your stats go up.
Yeah.
So I raised her to the point where she had like max attack or telekinetic or whatever, so she could one-shot something. But she had been on the ranch for so long that one more day on the ranch and that was it.
Yeah, Takal, they had lifespans. You would put them out to pasture. You would only use certain ones for breeding at a certain point. Like, you were constantly, it wasn't Pokemon, go catch the monster and it's in your collection. No.
Right.
I mean, it could be in your collection. You could train it, and I mean, it could get messed up enough in a fight that it didn't survive.
Yeah.
Like,
they definitely had lifespans. Different ones had different lifespans.
Yeah. Gaming all went to crap when they started putting games on CDs. I mean, that might be a little much. Might be a little much. Troy's like, once they took away my Commodore 64 cassette tapes.
Bro, my freaking Apple II GS, big floppy disks when I played Jeopardy. Man.
Yeah, I still have those 4 VIC-20 cartridges.
Hey, my Commodore 64 is upstairs. It still works.
I don't know where the VIC-20 itself is, but I found those 4 cartridges.
Nice. Oh, you never found? Yeah, because you sent me pictures of it.
Yeah, I never found the VIC-20 itself, but those cartridges are there, and I think they still work.
All right, let's talk about some oddball stuff.
Yes.
Now, this is normally this is where we get to like the miscellaneous news, right? Just I'm gonna call today's segment "You Have Got to Be Kidding Me,"
Yeah.
because everything I've put in this segment kind of just sparks a "You have got to be kidding me" response.
I totally agree.
I told you we were going to come back to Monkey Island, and that is one of the.
Monkey
But let's talk about God of War first. So, God of War, Ragnarok, we're still waiting for a reveal. We're still waiting for a release date. There were rumors and quote-unquote leaks that we were going to get a release date at the end of this past week here.
It was
and
a rumor.
Yeah, I mean, they were all rumors. It was just all rumor stuff. Like, we didn't know. But people were pissed when June 30th came and went and there was no release date. So what do you do? What do you do? Troy, your favorite game, you think you're going to get a release date scheduled and told to you on June 30th. June 30th comes and goes. You don't have a release date. You're angry. What do you do, Troy?
Time for death threats, baby.
For God's sakes.
For
God's sakes.
Rude, threatening emails, right? And that's what we're supposed to do. The heck has this world come to?
It also got a little more bizarre. Because among all those threats and complaints and stuff like that, Ragnarok's developers actually started receiving dick pics in their inboxes asking for the release date. Because I don't know... Is there anything that you would just, like, cough up the information to somebody if they were like, here's a dick pic? You know, like,
I
do
think
you think...
Tarkov.
Of course, they were sending this to female employees there, right? And, like, do you think any woman there was like, oh, that's impressive. Yeah, it comes out November 30th. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me
Right?
just... Whoa. I'm impressed. December 8th it is. Yeah. Come on.
This is exactly what I needed to see to let you know what date it's releasing.
People are disgusting. Human beings are disgusting. Oh my
Corey
God.
Barlog, the producer of the game, actually, who kind of didn't help things initially with like the rumor stuff, but that's a separate issue. Has
Right.
nothing to do with this portion. Came onto his own Twitter and said, "Are you retweeting one of the staffs saying sending me dick pics is not going to make me send you the release date?" He retweeted it saying, "Are you fucking kidding me with this now? They're busting their asses to make something for you to enjoy, show some fucking respect." And I apologize for the language. I'm quoting Barlog from Twitter there. And then let's go back to our return from Monkey Island, as if the gaming community or just people on the internet at large, right, weren't just the most awful people on the planet. We have Ron Gilbert, the director of Monkey Island, saying, "I'm shutting down comments. People are just being mean. I'm having to delete personal attack comments. It's an amazing game that we're making, and everyone on the team is proud of it. Play it or don't play it, but don't ruin it for everyone else. I won't be posting any more about the game. The joy of sharing has been driven from me." So some sharing different development and screenshots and excitement about certain aspects of Return to Monkey Island, and then just getting lambasted, like all over your personal attacks and stuff on their Twitter, to the point of, you know what? This isn't even fun to share anymore. Something I'm working on, I'm excited for you to see and get your hands on if you're a fan. You sucked the life right out of me, Troy. Right out of me.
And that was one of the things I personally was excited to see more from. And now, thanks to the wonderful, wonderful world that is the internet, that won't be happening anymore.
Yeah, it's a shame because like development and progress stuff is always good to see on games you're excited about.
Yeah. When you're excited about a game, there's nothing more fun than getting a little update here and there, other than release day.
Juicy screenshot.
Yeah, some boss in a counter you wasn't expecting. Like there's some cool,
or especially
looking
something
character.
like this that is a return to something that does have a high nostalgia factor. Seeing a screenshot of a character from way back when in a new way is going to be in the game. You're just like, I didn't know if they were going to bring him or not, or if they were going to bring her or not, and boom, that's awesome. Yep.
Huge potential for nostalgia bombs that we could have had.
We shall see.
But
we shall see.
No. It has been ruined.
Yeah, so, okay, Takao says the devs don't get to make games they want. They make games the paying fans want, and if the paying fans hate the art style, you change the art style. It is one thing, I mean, we saw that with the Sonic movie, right? It is one thing to have backlash over this is the wrong way to go with a game, whether it's the art style, systems, whatever. You can do that in a way that is not just absolutely berating and personally attacking people. That's the portion. You want to not like the art style? And they're not willing to change it, fine, don't buy it.
Right.
You know, like Gilbert says, play it or don't. You know what? Fine. And if not enough people buy it, guess what? They're not going to get to make another one. Oh, yeah, the supply and demand. But I don't need to personally attack the artist to say, hey, I'm not a fan of their art style.
Say, it's not my thing. Or...
And here's the thing. That's not always true anyway. Look at Zelda Wind Waker. When that was revealed, there was huge backlash against that art style. Still sold bajillions.
Well, yeah, it's Zelda.
Yeah. Constructive criticism. Yeah, you're right, Baron.
Yeah,
there is a way to constructively criticize.
Yes. That's what I was gonna say. If you don't like the art style, say you don't like the art style. If enough people say
no. Okay, chat's just making me mad now. Saying that they changed Sonic because people were assholes online is totally not accurate.
No, yeah.
Saying that they changed the style because the overwhelming criticism of it. Totally accurate. They didn't look at the people sending death threats and go, we better change this because we're getting death threats. They looked at the larger picture and said, hey, even the ones not sending us death threats that are just giving us constructive criticism, they're still all saying the same things.
Yeah. Like, okay,
we gotta make a change.
His eyes are too small. Yeah, okay, we get that. Okay,
that was the teeth. That was
teeth.
The weird.
His teeth look so jacked up. Yeah, okay, we'll change that. So there's a way to do it where you can say, okay, this doesn't look right. This doesn't look like it represents the character correctly.
I'm not even saying that everybody has to be like all kumbaya nice about it either. You want to take to your Twitter and go, that art style fucking sucks.
Oh yeah. There's that
fine. Too. Now you send a threat at somebody. Now you're in the wrong. You're absolutely in the wrong. You're absolutely in the wrong.
Right.
You're absolutely in the wrong. EA, speaking of social media, went ahead and screwed themselves up a little bit this week.
You don't say.
They tweeted a play on the popular meme right now, "There are 10 but," which I was actually playing with my kids while we were at a restaurant. My daughter was like, hey, let's play. Okay, fine. There are 10, but they have an obsession with minions. And I was like, they're still a 10. Like, what do you want me to say?
Right.
There's still a 10. I love the minions.
Are funny as fuck.
Yep. So Electronic Arts tweeted out there are 10, but they only like playing single-player games, which, of course, for a company with EA's pedigree and its backlash over the years at stopping making single-player games, and I'm sure you could tell exactly how well this tweet went over, guys.
Yeah.
You know what? It sounds dirty to say this. But I'm going to side with EA a little bit on this one. It was a joke,
really?
And we get it. We know that's how they feel about it. They would rather produce multiplayer games that are live services. But get a sense of humor. We've lost all sense of humor at this point. Like it was a joke. It was a play on a meme. For crying out loud, can we just move on? Why is this such a big deal? We all know EA hates single player games. Why are we surprised every time they say it?
Okay, so I do have to say, though, I do like Zach Mumbuck's response. That's he produced Dead Space 2, Dante's Infernal at Visceral, a studio closed by EA, right? His tweet was, this is the company that shut down my studio and laid off approximately 100 great developers because we were making a single-player game. Also, if you break game rating scores down to a 10-point scale, most EA games are a solid 6 or 7. Not because the developers are bad, but because EA, the corporation, forces them to rush games out. This is the best sentence ever. EA corporate leadership wouldn't know what a 10 looks like in terms of video games. I was like, all right, that's good. That's a good reply.
It's good stuff.
That's a good reply.
That's how you reply, though. That's how you reply.
I think if any other game company made that joke, it would have been fine. But for the fact that of the perspective of EA,
Yeah, a
and
company
what
that's
they've done in
actually
the past.
shut down single-player studios
Right.
because they've held the belief that single-player games just don't have a market anymore. Publicly, they've said so over the X years ago. They're starting to turn that around now. Granted, full credit where due. But Jedi Fallen Order had an awful lot to do with that too.
It's a little too soon for them to be making such jokes.
He just too soon, EA.
Yes, too soon, EA.
Too soon.
Hey, Nintendo is going to has increased its security following a leak. I don't know if you guys remember this. So, like 2 years ago, Nintendo had what they called Giga Leak, right? If you remember that, it was a lot of old prototype versions of classic Nintendo games, a bunch of old assets, unreleased games, stuff for the GameCube, the DS, the 64, even the 64 Double D add-on, the Wii. I mean, all kinds of assets and stuff got leaked.
Right.
And people have been using it to open up things in different ROMs and create a bunch of other different stuff. Now, anyway, fast forward, they were asked about that on their call, their shareholders call recently. And they said, hey, the PC and mobile games market in China is large, but dedicated game consoles together with Tencent. We want to popularize them. We're working with experts on information leaks. We have also introduced information security management. So hopefully we won't see another Giga leak. But I put this on the what the fuck list because this was 2 years ago.
Yes.
And didn't they basically not acknowledge it at all when it happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go back and relook at when this article was released. Because I was like, wait a minute.
Just to make sure I didn't link something old.
Yeah.
Well, here's a translation for you, by the way. There's too much money to be made in China for us to worry about a few little leaks, even of our own games.
Right.
We're gonna more than make that money back that a potential leak could have cost us, or even another one in the future. It's China. We're gonna make some dollars.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3, a game I am very excited about. I love the first two. Can't wait for the third one. There was a special edition that was being sold for $89.99. Came with a steel book, steel case, art book, stuff like that, of course. The website, Nintendo's website, had some issues, and then, a lot of people weren't able to get it. So, immediately, you could find this thing on eBay.
Of course.
Immediately, because of how hard it was to get. And, $250 to $300. Scalpers putting it up for $300 already.
Oh, scalpers. Yeah.
Kidding me?
Yeah.
Kidding me?
I mean, it is what happens when you can only get it in one single location.
Yeah.
That apparently only recently beefed up their security.
Hey, do you guys remember that game 13?
Not really, but okay.
No. 2003 game. They did a remake of it in 2020, but the remake was absolutely abysmal.
It was.
So, as a way of saying we're sorry, they're going to remake it again. The remake is getting a remake.
Remake the remake.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at those frames, it looked like someone forgot to hit the final render button. Really.
Yeah. So originally developed by PlayMagic, the PS4, Xbox One, and PC remake shipped in 2020 with numerous bugs, according to Video Game Chronicle, and changes to the game's iconic cel-shaded art, with which fans weren't happy with. It was the second worst reviewed title of 2020. They apologized for the state of the game in November of 2020, said they were going to fix it. They really couldn't. But now the development studio reworked the entire game from the art direction to the AI and added numerous technical improvements, set to release September 13th, 2022.
And
Remake
cel-shading
Reborn.
art can work. The problem was, and I was watching the little video that was part of the article you linked. At a distance, it looked okay. But the moment the character passed a branch or whatever, everything became pixelated.
Well, see, that's what usually women say about me. You know, from a distance.
From a distance, yeah, I get that too. You know, that's
from a distance.
Right, from a distance we look fine.
He's a pretty good looking guy.
Yeah.
Like if you back off 20 feet and cross your eyes.
Yeah. But the moment we start getting closer, we get all pixelated, and it's not good.
Bill 96 passed in Quebec, and game companies are a little worried about this one, that it might make it harder for them to attract talent, Troy, because Bill 96 is a bill aimed at preserving Quebec French, or the language, as the primary language, which means government systems and services will be done in French. Now, websites and government services that are running in English right now will still be able to for about the next 6 months or so. But why are game companies concerned about this? Well, the bill changing things so that you basically have to be able to speak French to utilize services in Quebec means that if they recruit people to their game studios based in Quebec, then they need to be able to speak French. And they've already been recruiting over the years, and it's never been a big deal. Like, people would say, hey, do I have to learn French to work here? And they no, it's fine. You're fine. Because most video game development is kind of like aviation, right? The universal language is English for stuff like that, in most cases.
And they said the ones who needed to learn would actually learn English, because most of the game development is done in English.
Right.
Yep.
And now they're going to completely, those who neither French nor English was their first language, already learned a language, now they're going to have to reacclimate to a third language at least for some of these folks that they've probably never even had to deal with before. Even though living there, they've never had to worry about it because they could get away with the English that's not even going to be supported on government sites anymore.
Yeah,
which is a major issue.
This was the most American sounding headline I've ever heard come out of Canada, by the way.
Right?
Like, we're making a law that this is our official language, and that was such a big deal here in the States for such a long time. English is the official language of the country. It should be made a law. And now it's going to affect people negatively, and the government's going to quit supporting English on their sites and stuff. It was just the most American sounding thing I've heard come out of Canada in a long time.
Well, and it is just Quebec, too. Like, it's not even like a nationwide thing. I mean, Quebec's been like doing their own thing for decades now, right?
Yeah,
you talk of secession and breaking off and separating from Canada and stuff like that. It's just kind of like legislatively, there are Texas, right?
Yes.
They're just like at any given point, at any given point, they could threaten to be their own country. It's just like,
and most of the rest of the country will go, sure, okay,
yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah, most Texans I know always think that it's going to be tomorrow when they're in their own country anyway. So,
like, just okay, you could be your own country, but we're going to invade Friday. Last thing before we go to our games of the week here, I got a picture for you, gentlemen. Yes. We have seen it out in the wild. Here it is. That is the PlayStation VR 2. Out in the wild. Headset looking pretty damn similar to the PSVR 1. Obviously, very different hand grips. Why? Because there weren't hand controllers for the PlayStation VR. You had to use the PS Move controllers with the camera in front of you. So you actually had to have other pieces or buy the big bundled piece thing. So it looks very like Oculus Quest 2, the hand grips. They're very, very similar.
I do wonder if, like, it looks like it's got these wrist things when you hold on to it, and I wonder if the wrist things actually track any motion at all.
We'll see.
Or if they're just there.
We shall see. Let's head over and do games of the week. For those of you new here, give us a like, give us a follow. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you'll be here for other shows as well. Game of the Week is the way we end every episode of Gaming Gumbo. It's where all three of the hosts recommend a game to you. Could be a video game, mobile game, board game, card game, whatever the hell we're playing, have played, want to play, and think you should play too. And then in the comments on YouTube and over on ReadyCheckRadio.com, you let us know who gave the best recommendation that given week. We're going to go to Troy first.
I recommend getting your email for your Steam Deck this week.
That is not a game. You cannot recommend that.
I'm gonna go with Guild Wars 2 this week. I know I usually do a tabletop game, but Guild Wars 2, I've been hot and heavy into Guild Wars 2 lately. It seems to have really found its stride with its roadmap. Now, there was a balance patch this past week, and not everybody's happy with that balance patch, but they're already going to be addressing that. They've already addressed it once. There's going to be more updates coming to that in the next week, and then some again in the beginning of August. But overall, with the roadmap and the End of Dragons expansion, Guild Wars 2 has been in a really good place now, and it really feels like they're headed into a better place than they've ever been. So I've been really excited to play it and really been into it, and it's really grabbed me this time. So Guild Wars 2 is my recommendation for this week.
Interesting. I'm going to give it to Lunar Silver Star Story Complete for the PlayStation 1. As I said, today has been a bit of a retro day for me, messing around with the Raspberry Pi and getting everything up and running again just to have some good times and start construction on an arcade machine, which maybe we'll do videos of as we're building. Maybe we'll stream Havoc and I building it and putting vinyls on and getting Yad to do the art and all that. Well, maybe we'll consider it. So I'm going to recommend Lunar Silver Star Story Complete. It's what I was messing around with this afternoon first. I don't know what I'm going to mess around with after the show here, but that'll be my recommendation. What do you got, Yad?
Well, since I haven't been on in 2 weeks, and I just got the ability to play it again recently, play it for the first time, TMNT Shredder's Revenge.
Oh, it's fun.
Yes,
it's fun, isn't it?
It's so much fun.
Oh, I haven't got to that yet.
Yeah, it's worth
so
it.
So good. And it's kind of retro, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. If you like Turtles in Time, yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Yep.
Programming note, by the way, we will have the show next week as normal, but we will not have one on the 16th. So show is normal next week. Everybody will be off on the 16th. So next week will either be me, Yad, and Zista, or me, Troy, and Zista. I'm not sure who yet. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
But the 16th, everybody will have off. So
okay.
We'll see you as normal next week. Chat, don't go anywhere. Right after the show, Torchwick's going to be going live. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I can't complain. It's The Graduate. And you got your move-in date for RIT in August. He's already like, all right, which consoles am I taking up there with me?
Yeah. Well, I can't take them all. There's just not enough room.
No, there won't be enough room in those dorm rooms. So what are you playing today?
We're going to get back in Chrono Trigger, and I've completely forgotten what we're doing except the fact that Chrono died. So...
Well, spoiler, I guess.
Hey, if you haven't been
Spoiler.
watching my streams, that's on you. Why are you watching this show but not my streams, huh?
Spoiler. Chat, we'll go live with Torchwick. Just give us a minute or two
that.
after we're done. We'll go dark. We'll relabel everything, and Torchwick will come back up. We will, of course, be back with our Final Fantasy trading card game stream as scheduled, always on Mondays, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be right back here Thursday with the Relic Grind, our Final Fantasy 14 Square Enix show, and then back here next Saturday with another episode of Gaming Gumbo. Until next time, where can everybody find you, Yad?
Yada works on Twitter? Yeah. Yada works on Facebook and right here on Gaming Gumbo.
Troy.
Check me out on Twitter at NoobFridge.
I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me right there at MagicMan1, but more importantly, follow at RC Radio so you'll know every time we go live with one of our podcasts, streams, or our other volunteer streamers. Until next time, stay safe. See you on the servers.